Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is T of the FTK Crochet brand and I'm back with another tutorial. Today we are going to be making the tutorial for this beautiful summer skirts. I call it the summer skirts because the color and style just screams summer. I made the tutorial for the top a while back, so I decided to make the skirt so we can have our old two-piece. If you've not seen the top, don't worry. I'm going to be putting the link on the description below so you can make the top as well if you want your own two-piece. All right. So it is a detailed step-by-step tutorial, so it is beginner friendly. If you are new to crochet, this is something you can actually make for yourself or for your loved one. I used both the single crochet and the double crochet stitch to create this one. So without any further ado, let us get into today's tutorial. Okay, so these are the materials you're going to be needing for this project. You're going to need your yarn, of course. As you already know, I'm going to be doing this skirt for the top I made previously. So I'm using exactly the same yarn color and size. The yarn happens to be an acrylic yarn and it's a 2-ply. So I had to put 2 strands together to make my own 4-ply. But you can go ahead to use whatever yarn that makes you feel comfortable. All right. So you're going to need some stitch markers, you're going to need a measurement tape, very important. You're going to need a scissors, a tapestry needle, and on this one I'm going to be working with a 4.5mm hook size. All right, so let us get into it. Okay, so the measurement you are going to need for this one is going to be your hips measurement and the length that you want your skirt to be on. All right, you can either make your skirt a long skirt or a short skirt. Okay, so now we are going to be starting with the band. All right, so to begin, you are going to be making a slip knot, and then you are going to chain up 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, so for the row 1, you are going to do a single crochet all across this chain stitch. Okay. So you're going to chain up 1 and skip that first stitch, and on the second stitch you're going to be going in with a single crochet. And on the next stitch you're going to be going in with a single crochet. So like I said, you're going to go in with a single crochet all across. All right, so now I have my 12 stitches. Make sure you're counting your stitches. All right, so the fact that I started with a chain, 12 chains, I had to do 12 stitches of the single crochet. All right, you make sure that the stitches are counted because you don't want one side to be longer than the other side. It won't be fine. All right, so now to begin the row 2, you're going to chain up 1, turn your work to the other side, and on this very first stitch you're going to be going in there with a single crochet. Then on the next stitch you're going to be going with a single crochet, but you're going to be doing just the front stitch, you'll be taking the front loops only, sorry. All right, so you take the front loop only and do a single crochet just like this, front loops only. Okay, front loops only. So you continue doing this until you get to the second to the last stitch on this row. Then on the last stitch, you are going to be doing a regular single crochet like we started with on this row. Okay, I'm on the second to the last stitch now, and now on this last stitch I'm just going to be going in with a regular single crochet right here, just like this. All right, so it's very simple. You begin with the regular single crochet, then do just the front loops only single crochet for the next 10 stitches, and on the last stitch you are going to do the regular single crochet like we did in the beginning. All right, so you chain up one, turn your work again, and you repeat exactly the same thing you just did on the row 2. Regular single crochet, then front loops only single crochet for the next 10 stitches, and when you get to the very end you do your regular single crochet at the end. All right, so this is what you are going to continue for the entire length of the band. All right, so like I said, this band now is going to be the measurement you got from your hips. All right, so I'm going off camera now to create mine, and I'll come back to tell you how many I end up doing and what we're going to be doing next. All right. Okay, so I'm done with my band, and I ended up putting 120 rows of single crochet. So I'm okay with this size, but this is the point whereby you're going to use it to round your hips and make sure it is the exact size that you are going for, because the reason why we are using the hips and not the waist is so we can wear the skirts past our hips. All right, so like I said, I did 120 rows of single crochet, so I'm going to be stopping here. All right, so now the next step is going to be joining the band together, because we're going to be working round. All right, so make sure you place it right. Just like this. All right, so now to join, we are going to be using the slip stitch method. The slip stitch method. All right, so now you're going to turn your work to this side. So this is where our loop is. You're going to go into the very first stitch right here, and then you pull the loop from this other side. Please just watch what I'm doing, okay? And then you pull the loop from this other side, just like this, and then you're going to chain up one. Then now turn your work to this side, and then you see this very first stitch. Now you're going to go in there, and then you're going to go into the first stitch on this other side as well, and then you're going to do a slip stitch. Okay, this is a little tricky. All right, so you come to this part again, go into the next stitch, go to the next stitch on the other side, and then you do a slip stitch. All right, then come to this part again, go into the stitch and go into the next stitch right here and do a slip stitch. So you are going to be doing a slip stitch all through to close it. So I'm going off camera to actually close mine, and I'll come back to show you what we're going to be doing next. All right. Okay, so I'm done closing it, and this is how it's looking, but this part happened to be the back. All right, so now I'm going to be flipping my work to the other side, just like this. So as you can see, it all blended together. You won't know anything happened in front. All right. So now the next step is going to be working single crochet all across this bottom parts. Okay. All right, so now you're going to chain up one, Okay, so on this same stitch right here now, you are going to be going in there with one single crochet, just like this. And on this next stitch, you're going to be going in there with 2 single crochet on that stitch, and just keep putting in single crochet all around, just like this, and I will meet you where we begin from. All right, so go ahead and put single crochet all around, and I will meet you here. All right. Okay, so I'm done with my round of single crochet, and this is how it's looking. So like I told you, I made 120 rows of the single crochet. So the single crochet I made on top here is exactly 120 rows. So each of the rows here gets one single crochet here as well. So that is how I got my single crochet of 120 stitches on this row now. All right, so to begin the row 2, you are going to chain up 2, and you are going to chain up 3, sorry, 1, 2 and 3, because we are going to be doing double crochet on this row now. All right, so this chain 3 now is going to be serving as our first double crochet. All right, so now yarn over and go into the next stitch and put in a double crochet, just like this, and the next stitch go in with a double crochet, and on the next a double crochet. So for this row, just keep going with 1 double crochet on each of the stitches all around, and I'll meet you here. All right, okay, so I'm at the end of this row now. I just want to show you how I end it here so we can begin the next row. All right, so you see this chain 3 stitch, and this chain 3 that we made to start the row, you are going to be going into the very 3rd chain stitch, and you do a slip stitch right there, just like this, to end on this row. All right, so now this is where we start our designs. So the 2 corners is where the design is going to be. So as you can see, I already put my stitch markers on the corners. So all you need to do is count from this part now. This is going to be your lead. So count the stitches from here and get your corner. Count the stitches from here and get the corner. I had to do mine into 4 places so I won't mistake any stitch. All right, so you know I have 120 stitches from the beginning. So all I just did, I counted 30 stitches here, 30 stitches here, 30 stitches here, 30 stitches here, and I put 1 stitch marker on each of the stitches. All right, so that is how you can get your middle. So once you finish putting your stitch marker now, all you just need to do is just keep making double crochets until you get to the very first corner here, your very first stitch marker here. All right, so on this part now, just chain up 3 as usual, 2 and 3, and remember this chain 3 is going to be serving as our first double crochet. Yarn over and go into the next stitch with a double crochet, and each of the stitches just keep putting in 1 double crochet until you get to this very first stitch marker. And when I get here, I'll come back to show you what we're going to be doing here. All right, okay, so I've gotten to where the first stitch marker is. So now you are going to skip 2 stitches. See, we have just 2 stitches left here. Please just watch what I'm doing, okay? So this place where the first stitch marker is now, you're going to be removing the stitch marker from there, and then skip 2 stitches, and you are going to be going in there with a cluster, that is 3 double crochet inside this same stitch, just like this. All right, and then you're going to chain up 2, and inside that same stitch you are going to be going in there with another cluster. All right, so now you are going to skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, and on the 3rd stitch here you are going to go in there with just 1 double crochet, and on the next stitch you're going to go in with another double crochet. So just keep doing your 1 double crochet on each of the stitches as you go, and then when I get to the next corner here, which is this second stitch marker, I'll come back to show you what we're going to be doing here. Okay, so I've gotten to where the second stitch marker is now. So as you can see, I still have 2 stitches left. So I'm just going to remove my stitch marker from here. And on the stitch where the stitch marker is, you're going to be going in there with a cluster. That's 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3. And then you're going to chain up 2, and on that same stitch you're going to be going in there with another cluster. All right, so now you are going to skip 2 stitches, and then you are going to put in our regular double crochet on the 3rd stitch, and on the next stitch a regular double crochet, and on the next stitch a regular double crochet. So keep putting in 1 double crochet on each of the stitches, and I'll meet you here to show you how we begin the next row. All right. Okay, so I'm at the end of the row now. I just want to show you how I ended here. So you see this chain 3 where we started from. You're going to be going into the 3rd chain stitch, and you do a slip stitch right there to end on this row. All right, so now to begin the next row, you're going to chain up 3. So instead of working this part, we're going to be turning our work to the other side, just like this. All right, so now you keep putting in 1 double crochet. Don't forget, this chain 3 is going to be serving as 1 double crochet for us. So you're going to go into the next stitch now, and you're going to put a regular double crochet. Into the next stitch you put a regular double crochet. All right, so keep putting in the double crochet until you get to the very first corner here, and I'll come back to show you what we're going to be doing here. All right. Okay, so I've gotten to the first corner. So right here now, you see we have 3 stitches before the chain 2 space. So now you are going to chain up 1, and in this chain 2 space you are going to be going in there with our first cluster, 2 and 3, and you are going to chain up 2, 1 and 2, and in that same chain 2 space right here you're going to be going in there with another cluster, and 3, and then you're going to chain up 1, and then you're going to be skipping this previous cluster and go into this previous double crochet stitch. Now you're going to go in there with just 1 double crochet. You see what I did there now, right? So keep putting in your 1 double crochet as you go, and then when you get to the next corner you are going to do exactly what I just did here. Now you are going to do it on this second corner. All right, so you go ahead to do 1 double crochet all around. When you get here, do exactly the same thing I just did here now, and I'll meet you at the end of this row to show you how we are going to start on the next row. All right. Okay, so I'm at the end of the row 3 now, so I just want to show you how I end it. You're going to go into the chain 3 stitch where we started from, and then you do a slip stitch to end on this row right here. All right, so to start the next row now, you're going to chain up 3, 1, 2 and 3, and then you're going to turn your work back to the right side. All right, so this time we are going to be doing our first increase on this row. All right, so this chain 3 is standing as our first double crochet. So on the next stitch you're going to be going in there with 1 double crochet, and on the next stitch you're going to go in there with 1 double crochet. So just keep putting in your 1 double crochet until you get to the corner here, and I'll come back to show you how we are going to be doing our increase right here. All right. Okay, so I've gotten to the first corner, and as you can see I have just 1 stitch left here. All right, so on this very last stitch here, you are going to be going into that stitch with 2 double crochet on that same stitch. Then you're going to chain up 1 as usual, and into this chain 2 space now you are going to be going in with your first cluster, chain up 2, and in that same chain 2 space you're going to be going in there with another cluster. Then chain up 1 again. Excuse me. And then you are going to skip this cluster plus this chain 1. Then on this previous double crochet you are going to be putting in 2 double crochet on that same stitch, just like we did on the stitch before this. All right, so the increase is going to be taking place in the beginning here, and then chain 1, do your normal cluster, chain 2, another cluster, chain up 1, and then 2 on this previous double crochet stitch, and then you continue putting in 1 double crochet on each of the stitches. Just like this. So you keep putting in 1 double crochet until you get to this part. Then when you get to this part, you do exactly the same thing we just did here. The increase is going to be taking place here as well. All right, so do that and I will meet you here when I'm done with mine. All right. Okay, so I'm at the end of the row 4 now, and this is how we are looking so far. So now to start on the row 5, you are going to chain up 3, 1, 2 and 3, and then turn your work to the other side. So for this row we are not going to be doing any increase. All right, so this chain 3 now is going to be serving as 1 double crochet. So you go into the next stitch with a regular double crochet. So we are just going to be doing our regular double crochet on this row because there is no increase on this row. So you are going to repeat exactly what you did in the row 3. In the row 3, yes, I'm right. All right, so when you get to this place now, you're just going to do the normal chain 1 in the cluster. In the chain 2 you put your cluster, chain up 2, another cluster, chain 1, and just do your regular row. All right, so I'm going to go off camera now to do this row, and I'll come back to show you what we are going to be doing next. All right. Okay, so I've gotten to the end of the row 5 now. So to begin the row 6, you are going to chain up 3 as usual. I've chained up 1 already, so 2 and 3, and then you're going to turn your work to the other side. So this row is going to be an increase row. All right, so that is exactly what we are going to be doing for the skirts until we get 12 rows. All right, so on this one now we are going to be doing an increase here, an increase on the other corner, and then the next one we are not going to do any increase. We are just going to do the normal chain 1 and the normal clusters that we do here. So that is what you keep alternating until you get 12 rows in total. All right, so on this one now, this one is an increase row. All right, so when I get to the corner now, I'm going to be doing the increase. You remember the increase. If you've forgotten, you can always rewind the video back and see what we did on the increase parts. All right, so the increase part is the 1, 2, 3, 4th row. All right, so we started the increase on the 4th row, so the 5th row has no increase, the 6th row is going to get an increase, the 7th row no increase, just like that until you get 12 rows in total. So I'm going to go off camera now to do my own 12 rows, alternating 1 increase row and regular row, and I'll come back to show you how it's looking and what we're going to be doing next. All right. Okay, so I'm done with the alternating increase row and regular rows, and I ended up doing 1 2 3 4 increase rows all together, and 1 2 3 4 5 non-increase row. So this is where I'm going to be stopping the increases. So from here on out, I'm going to be doing just the regular rows until I get to the length that I want for my skirts. All right. So far, this is how the skirt is looking. So beautiful. All right, so I'm going off camera now to complete my rows without increase, and I'll come back to show you how it's looking and what we are going to be doing next. All right. Okay, so I'm done with my rows, and I think I'm good with this length that I have right here now. So I ended up doing 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 rows altogether. All right, and do not forget, let me do a little recap. We did just 4 rows of the increases. Remember when we started the alternating, we did 1 row of increase, 1 row of non-increase, 1 row of increase, 1 row of non-increase, and 1 row of increase. All right, so I ended up doing just 4 rows of increase. But if you know you want your skirts bigger, you can go ahead to continue alternating both the increase and the non-increases. All right. And then the next thing I did, I had to put a stitch marker here so I can explain to you what it's meant for. So the last 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 rows of my own, I started making 2 chains here instead of 1. So I made 2 chains in the beginning, then the normal 2 chains in between before the in between the clusters, and 2 chains outside here before I continue putting in 1 double crochet each. So I did it in the next 7 rows because when I was working it, it started rolling in. All right, so when you put in the 2 chains instead of 1, it will come out just like this. All right, so that's the only 2 things I did that I didn't mention from the beginning. All right, so this is how the whole thing is looking, and this is where we are going to be stopping. Let me measure it for you so you see the length that I'm going for. But like I said, you can decide to make yours longer or shorter, but for me, I'm just going to be stopping in this 10 inches I got. It's exactly 10 inches, but that's without the band. The band alone is 2 inches, so the entire skirt is a 12 inches. All right, the person I'm making it for, that is what the person wants, because I'm doing it for someone, not myself. All right, so but for your own, if you know you want it longer or shorter, it's up to you. I've given you the basics, so you go ahead to do whatever make it work for you. All right, so the next step now is going to be putting an elastic band on the skirts. But the elastic band is actually optional. You can just decide to make a chain and use it as the lace to actually put here. But me, I'm going ahead to put an elastic on my own, and I'll still end up putting my own lace too, which is a chain, just to give it that beautiful aesthetic. All right, so I'm going off camera. If you do not know how to put an elastic band on your crochet project, I have a video of that, so I'm going to be putting it on the description below so you can actually do yours for yourself. So I'm going off camera to put the elastic on mine, and I'll be right back to show you the finished result. All right. Okay, so I'm done putting in the elastic band, and this is how it's looking. You see how beautiful and snatched it looks. All right, so let me show you the corners of the skirts. This is so beautiful. The table is not doing justice to showing you what I want to show you. All right, so this is how the whole thing is looking. So beautiful. And with this, we've come to the end of today's tutorial. I do hope you enjoy watching this video as much as I did making the video. If you do, make sure to like the video and share it to your friends and your family who wants to make something as beautiful as this. And if you've not subscribed to my channel before now, please do so now. You don't want to be missing out on all these beautiful tutorials that I post on here. All right, so if you have any questions about this project, feel free to drop it on my comment section and I will be happy to help. All right, so until next time, bye bye.